Rome was a land of power and ambition, but not all rulers were noble. Some wielded their authority like a weapon. They ruled with cruelty and fear. Today, we'll uncover the top 10 savage Roman rulers you would never forget. Get ready for shocking tales of tyranny and madness. These emperors left a dark mark on history. Let's dive into their brutal legacies. At number 10, Caligula. Born Gaius Julius, Caesar Germanicus Caligula. He was one of the most notorious emperors in the history of the Roman Empire. Caligula came to power after Tiberius's death, but what a short-lived monarchy it became when he decided to go mad. People say he liked to watch head choppers at work and made senators play wretched games on his orders. Caligula's reign is said to have involved all manner of scandalous incidents, one of which was dining on tables made of gold and silver. As we move into the 9th number, we uncover Nero. Nero Claudius Caesar. Augustus Germanicus is yet another cruel and passionate-souled emperor whose name recalls images of tyranny and outrageousness. At first, Nero was perceived as a reformist, backed by his mother, the influential figure Agrippina. Persecutions of Christians began in 64 Anno Domini, when Nero accused Christians of being responsible for the burning of Rome. He would have Christians killed in the slowest ways possible. He used to burn them alive and use them as garden lamps in his elaborate parties. He considered himself a great actor and musician. Stay tuned as we continue our exploration and reveal 8 more brutal rulers who shaped Rome with their ruthless ambitions. Coming in at number 8, Commodus. Commodus, the emperor after Marcus Aurelius and his son, is best known as the ruler who thought he was Hercules reborn. He became a king after his father's death. However, he was worse than a spendthrift and a megalomaniac wreath. Commodus himself fought in the arena as a gladiator, attacking unprotected enemies or those maimed in battle, which depersonalized the combat, bringing dishonor common for brutal gladiatorial combat. He used to hunt animals and even enjoyed killing them. Get ready for number 7, Elagabalus. Elagabalus came to the throne when he was young and is best known for his eccentric and libertine behavior. Elagabalus even went as far as to perform things that were completely shunned in ancient Rome, for example, marrying a Vestal virgin and embracing Eastern worship over Roman gods. Thus, he was not a fan of Roman decency in the least. Most people remember his taste for extravagant and provocative parties. At his dinners, he let loose a lion onto the diners or showered his guests with roses. He died by a brutal coup from the military men who had grown increasingly intolerant of his buffoonery. And now, at number 6, Aurelian. Often, Aurelian portrays himself as a ruler who revived the Roman Empire from its critical condition, but he achieved this revival through a bloodbath. Aurelian lived in a time when the main problems were coming from outside and inside the empire's borders. He hung many of his rebels without judgment. He was particularly cruel to the captured cities and their inhabitants, placing the bodies of the slain around the cities to discourage any rebellion. Sliding into 5th place, Tiberius. Emperor Tiberius, the second of the Roman emperors, is known as an able ruler who nevertheless descended to paranoia. Age and retirement to Capri made Tiberius increasingly paranoid about coups against him, fear that would characterize most of his reign. He murdered several senators and political opponents merely on suspicion. During his reign, he held treason trials, which led to several extrajudicial killings. These were known as deletion trials, whereby one person could be accused of malice or personal vendetta against another. At the number 4, Domitian. Domitian governed as an absolute monarch and especially persecuted his opponents, making him one of the most dangerous emperors of Rome. His reign characterized a period in which he fought relentlessly for supremacy over all sectors of Roman society. As for Domitian, whom the previous author qualifies as a paranoid person, in the same sense that Tiberius must be considered one, he felt free to murder many senators he believed to plot against him without even bringing them to trial. Coming in at number 3, Florian. Florian had a very short-lived rule when civil wars and the changes of emperors were common. It is called the crisis of the 3rd century. Once Florian was able to rise to power during Aurelian's death, civil war followed. For example, he offered several rivals and potential threats to his power a brutally fast death to underscore his main strategy for maintaining loyalty and order among Roman elites: violence. His reign, however, did not last long. After 3 months, Roman soldiers loyal to Probus killed him, reflecting a characteristic of the period they called the Age of Instability. Let's look at number 2, Jovian. Jovian was appointed emperor after Julian, but he reigned at a time that forced him to make dreadful decisions on religious issues in a time of conflict between pagans and Christians. He ruthlessly rode over those who refused to become Christians, causing many non-Christian people to die or forcing them to convert to the new Christian dogma, supported by new laws that completely contradicted the initial traditional Roman ethos. Jovian was instrumental in widening gaps that existed within society, a mark aired with intolerance that lingered long after his mysterious death, just 8 months after his reign. Finally, at the top spot, Maximinus Thrax. Maximinus Thrax was a soldier emperor from low-ranking military stock, but was a brutal ruler during one of the most chaotic living historical eras. The period often referred to as the crisis of the Maximinus was in charge of Rome and felt very comfortable relying on military power to stay in control of the empire. He was violent, which made many in Rome turn against him, leading revolts that gave way to assassination by his troops due to constant war as well as oppression to subdue everyone in the region, including within the city itself. Thank you for being with us through this history making. If you've enjoyed exploring this video, don't forget to click that like button and keep watching other videos from this channel about ancient history. Also consider the subscription and turn on that bell icon to stay updated.